One of the biggest debates in real estate is whether new construction homes are better than older homes. A majority of buyers want something that is brand new so they don't have to worry about any of their systems being old or worn out. But these might be the least of your problems if you aren't careful when buying a new construction home. Hi, I'm Sarah Maslowski with KeyPoint Homes Group, a local real estate agent right here serving the Northeast Metro Atlanta area, helping clients from all over relocate right here to Georgia. Unlike a lot of other parts of the country, there are a ton of new construction options here in North Georgia. So what do you need to know before you purchase one? Like I just mentioned, there is a ton of new construction options here in the North Metro because there is still so much land to be developed. But this does not mean that every town will have new construction options. For example, new construction is few and far between in towns like Alpharetta because the land is just so developed already. When you can find new construction, it's often a new house that has been built on a lot that already had a home on it that was just bulldozed in order to build a new one. Plus, it is such a highly desired area that any available land will come with a huge premium, think a lot of money. So if a builder is paying a premium for that land, you know that the homes built here will also come with a very high price tag as well. They aren't going to build something that they can only sell for $500,000 if they had to spend $800,000 to $1 million on the land. Now, if you're looking at an area just north of Alpharetta, like Cumming, there is plenty of available land here to build on. So you will see tons of new construction options all over town. This has become a very popular place because of all that demand at Alpharetta that it's just pushing the growth and development north where there is still land to be developed. And that of course drives up the prices. So things are going to be a little bit on the pricier side here as well. Now, a good trade-off if you're considering Alpharetta to Cumming is that, well, you got more new construction options and the schools are still really good. Let's say you are looking for a new construction home, but you can't spend upwards of $1 million like you would have to in Alpharetta and even parts of Cumming. You should consider towns like Flowery Branch, Grayson, or Loganville. They are developed so you're going to have great shopping, good restaurants, schools, all the things that you would want. But they don't have some of the wild demand that an area like Cumming does because they aren't as up and coming as Cumming seems to be to outsiders. So you can find new construction homes in the $400,000 to $600,000 range in these towns. Now, like we just talked about, land comes with a high premium, which means that when you buy a new construction home, chances are that your lot is going to be quite small, typically less than 1/3 of an acre. It's very common here to see 1/4 of an acre to 1/3 of an acre, and 1/3 is on the bigger side. If you are someone who wants a new home, but it also needs to have a private wooded lot on at least 1 acre, you are not going to find this in a neighborhood. You're going to be looking for something that's from a small custom or luxury builder, and it's going to come with a very pricey price tag unless you are willing to look 1.5 hours, 2 hours outside of Metro Atlanta. There are some neighborhoods that have lots that back up to a wooded area, but you're going to find that many do not, and many back up to other homes as well. But that is the trade-off of being in a brand new build. Another very important thing you need to know about new construction here is how pricing and how it works. Now, a lot of the new construction in our area is being sold as spec homes, which means that the house is fully finished and it's now ready to be bought, as opposed to going under contract on a home that has not been finished yet. When the house is already done, this is already set, and you know going into the purchase exactly what your monthly payment will look like. You know all the finishes, you know what you're buying. Now, if you are buying a new home that is currently under construction, you won't exactly know what your monthly payment will be until you are closer to the end of the home being built. That's because you cannot lock in your interest rate until about 30 to 60 days away from closing on your house. So if you are building a custom built home that's going to take a builder up to 9 months to build, well, whatever the interest rates are at the end of that 9 months, that's what you're paying. And that could work out for the better, or it could work out for the worse. So if you are working with a builder who lets you pick out your lot and floor plan and make design choices, this is typically a pretty long process, anywhere between 6 months to a year, depending upon how custom that home is, how busy the builder is, and what they're offering. Now, remember, if you are getting a loan, you cannot lock your interest rate in until about 60 days prior to closing. So So interest rates could be really good by the time you go under contract, but 9 months later, after it takes time to build a house, 60 days out from that, you just don't know with interest rates right now what is going on or what can be anticipated down the road. And you are locked into that contract. You have to buy the house or else you're walking away from typically a very, very hefty builder's deposit. Obviously, with a home like this, you have to be a bit more flexible in this scenario and know that this is an unknown until you are closer to closing. Another big thing when it comes to lending is that just because the builder's preferred lender is offering incentives, it doesn't mean that it's always better to use them for your mortgage. I work with absolutely incredible local lenders who truly want the best for you. So even if you are looking to purchase a new construction home and think that that builder's lender is offering some crazy incentive that just can't be beat, I'm still going to recommend that you talk with a local lender so that they can compare apples to apples what that builder's lender has given you and make sure that it truly is a good deal for you. This, once again, varies based on the lender. But for example, if you're looking at a D.R. Horton community, D.R. Horton owns their own mortgage company. So of course they are going to want you to use them so that they can keep all of that business on their side. But you may find that that $5,000 in closing costs that they are offering you just to use them is charged back to you in other ways on the loan and fees and upcharges. Sometimes if you are working with a smaller builder, they may use someone local as their preferred lender and are more likely to actually credit you with whatever incentives they are offering. That's why regardless what you decide, I want you to be in touch with the people who, like I mentioned, truly want the best for you, and they're going to be able to look at that and say, hey, yeah, that's a great deal, or let me show you where they're wrapping this into the actual loan cost. Sometimes they're going to notice that those fees being charged to you are in other places, and sometimes they will say, yeah, these are awesome. I can't beat it, so you should take that. That's a great deal. You are in good hands. There have been some really great incentives lately, from permanent rate buy downs plus money towards closing costs, and there are still some really good deals out there to be had in new construction. And depending upon the environment in which you're buying right now, because interest rates are high, these new construction builders are having to be quite aggressive in the incentives that they're offering, and they're pretty dang good right now. You might see a new construction home listed for a price that is higher than the budget you're looking in, but with all of the incentives that the builder is offering, that can bring down your monthly payment to the same amount that you would have had paid at a lower budget amount. So oftentimes when I'm working with clients and they say, hey, we don't want to go above $550, sometimes if we can find a new construction option, let's say at $575, and that builder is offering a really great rate incentive, that $575 house can be the same monthly payment as that $550. Now, something that may impact affordability is the potential tariffs that the president has mentioned. Obviously, if the cost of goods like building supplies is higher, home prices are going to be too. Don't get me wrong, those builders are going to pass along those costs directly to you as the consumer. But this is all unknown currently, and let's be honest, it changes day by day. But we will remain hopeful that this is not something that we're going to have to deal with, because we all know that buying a house is expensive enough as it is. I recently made an entire video ranking some of the builders in our area, so make sure you check that out if you haven't seen this already. But a big thing that you need to know about new construction homes here is that not all builders are created equal. The good news is that there are a lot of really great builders, but often the phrase, you get what you pay for, holds true when it comes to a new construction home. Some builders just do not have as high a quality of standards as others, and you need to be aware that when you walk through the homes in a new construction neighborhood, what you see is what you get. Your house is not going to miraculously be much higher quality than all of the other houses. So if you are continuously seeing sloppy workmanship or bad craftsmanship, this is what you should expect to see in your new home. Also, just because you jump up and down in front of the builder the whole time they are building the house does not mean they are going to spend more time and effort on yours. You should expect a high quality product when you buy a new home. But you need to be aware of what this particular builder deems to be high quality, because you might not think it's not good enough for you and you'll want them to change some things, but if that is the baseline of what they deliver, we can't make them do a better job. You would be better served to spend more money with a different builder instead of trying to get this one to change their standards to match what you're looking for, because I've been there with clients before and it's just not going to happen. One last thing to know about buying a new construction home is that most of them are going to have an HOA. I know that HOAs are something that people are very passionate about either one way or another, but you need to know that most of these new neighborhoods are going to have one. If you'd like a further explanation about how HOAs work here in Georgia and a little more information about these, make sure you check out this video. If you're looking at a builder like D.R. Horton or Toll Brothers, for example, they are for sure going to have an HOA in that community, but most likely that's going to come with community features like a neighborhood pool, tennis court, playgrounds, that kind of thing. If you're looking for a new construction home in a 55+ community, I can almost guarantee you that you are going to have an HOA, because the attraction of these types of neighborhoods is all of the amazing amenities, as well as the fact that they are going to take care of your lawn maintenance. Again, if you've never lived in Georgia before and aren't familiar with how they work, make sure you check out that video I mentioned. Now, HOAs here are going to usually cost you between $500 to $1,000 a year, unless you are in a 55+ community where this will be significantly higher. Or if you are considering a new construction townhouse, these HOAs can usually be on the higher side, anywhere between $1,500 to $2,000 a year, because they take care of all of your lawn maintenance as well. So what do you think? Are you in the market for a new construction home here in Georgia? If so, my team and I would love to be your real estate agent. You can reach me by clicking the link in my pinned comment below this video. And if you are considering new construction, you have to check out this video next.